Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The US and China have agreed a deal that will significantly cut the import tariffs or taxes both sides have imposed on one another for a 90-day period. US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said both countries would lower their reciprocal tariffs by 115% for 90 days. Speaking after talks with Chinese officials in Geneva, the US Treasury Secretary told reporters the two sides had reached a deal.
We have reached an agreement on a 90-day pause and substantially moved down the tariff levels. Both sides on the reciprocal tariffs will move their tariffs down 115%.
Hamas has said it will release the Israeli-American hostage Edan Alexander, who is believed to be the last living captive with US nationality in Gaza, as part of efforts to reach a ceasefire agreement. The decision comes ahead of President Donald Trump's visit to the Middle East on Tuesday. Hamas said it was intended to facilitate a deal for the entry of humanitarian aid. Gaza has been under Israeli blockade for 70 days. Earlier, a senior Hamas official said the armed group was holding direct negotiations with a US administration official in Qatar. Pope Leo XIV has demanded the release of imprisoned journalists in the first news conference of his pontificate. Addressing the world's media in Vatican City, he reiterated the Church's solidarity with them for seeking the truth. The outlawed Kurdish group, the PKK, which has waged a 40-year insurgency against Turkey, has announced it is laying down its arms and disbanding. The move followed a call in February by the group's jailed leader Abdullah Öcalan for the organisation to disband. The PKK insurgency initially aimed to create an independent homeland for Kurds, who account for around 20% of Turkey's population. More than 40,000 people have been killed during the conflict. Poland has accused Russian intelligence services of orchestrating a massive fire that nearly completely destroyed a shopping centre in the capital Warsaw last year. Prime Minister Donald Tusk said Poland knows for sure that the blaze at the shopping centre was caused by arson ordered by the Russian special services. Some of those responsible are already in custody, Mr. Tusk added, while all the others alleged to have been involved have been identified and are being searched for. Moscow has not commented on the allegations, but has previously denied accusations of sabotage in Europe. Sir Keir Starmer has announced plans to tighten up the immigration system in the UK, promising migration numbers will fall significantly. After a weekend talking Ukraine and Russia with other European leaders, it was back to domestic matters for the Prime Minister on Monday. The proposed changes include English tests for all visa applicants and their adult dependents, as well as a longer route to settled status.
A choice made even as they told the country, they were doing the opposite. A one-nation experiment in open borders, conducted on a country that voted for control. Well, no more. Today, this Labour government is shutting down the lab. The experiment is over.
And the White House is in discussions with the royal family of Qatar to possibly receive a luxury jumbo jet intended for use as an Air Force One presidential plane. In a statement, Qatar denied that the plane would be a gift, but said the transfer of an aircraft for temporary use was under discussion between the two countries. According to CBS News, the plane would be donated to Mr. Trump's presidential library at the end of his term. The news comes as Trump is set to visit Qatar this week as part of the first major foreign trip of his second term. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.